didn't touch it because he had his retirement thing.
Okay.
And he told me that was my livelihood.
Okay.
So I kept it. And then one day the man came back and said he was getting over and he wanted to just sell it. And he was going to give everybody a first shot at it that was in his business, you know, that was written from him.
Okay.
And I said, oh, I said, I'm so afraid right now. I said, I've been through a divorce. He said, wait a minute, Miss Smith. He said, do you know you've already bought this building one time? I said, huh? He said, you've already bought it once. He said, but it's mine. And he said, you go ahead and buy it this time. Then it'll be yours.
Now, who was that?
I can't even think of his name, but he the one that owned everything over there.
Okay.
The white fella that owned everything over there.
Okay.
He the one that built the new building. You know, he had the whiskey store he had, so he was renting to D them, J.D. Royer.
Okay.
And then he decided to just build a whole big building over there. See.
Okay.
And he was glad to get me because I did good. I never did, you know what I mean. I kept, you know, everything going all right. And he said, now, when you just think about it, he said, now the next time when you pay for this building, he said, it's going to be your building. It's not going to be mine anymore. He said, it's mine now. And what he did, he asked me, I can't think of how much it was, so many $1,000s. He said, now, if you just pay that down, then I will, I'll finance it myself. He just let his lawyer collect the money every month. We just paid the lawyer, you know.
Okay.
And I think he gave me 15 or 20 years on it, you know.
Okay.
And I was just scared, but I was scared because I had never been out there and that, you know, when I had the house one day, now you're going to have another building.
Right.
He said, Miss Smith, it's the same thing. He said, you're going to pay me rent every month.
So now pay
And he
it.
said, you've already bought it one time. I mean, this time it's going to be yours.
Okay.
So I went to the bank. I said, just let me go to the bank and see what they say. And I went to the bank and told them what I want. And they said, well, let's see now. And because we had, in the process of getting my money for the thing, we had to do the house thing to get the money for the, what you call, you know, you have to have collateral. You know, they ain't no loan, you know, cash money unless you got something, you know. So she said, don't you have something else? I said, I don't know. I said, oh, I got a car. And she said, is it paid for? I said, yeah. She said, you bought it new? I said, yeah. She said, oh my God, so we can use the car.
Okay.
That's okay. Just like that, I had my loan then.
Okay.
And I think, and would you believe, the first payment I made was less than what I was paying rent.
Wow.
Because what he did, every two, like, if he give you 2-year lease, then he would go up on the rent. Go up on the rent. And the next 2 years go by, because I don't know who else to go up.
Go a little
He
bit.
figured, look, if you staying there, you making money.
Right.
It was his building, you didn't have no choice.
Yeah.
And mine went down, my payment went down when the first payment went down.
Wow.
I didn't have to pay as much as I was paying for rent.
Wow.
And then one time, things got kind of bad. I think when they started buildings and stuff, you know when some of the buildings and things started, they say when they started moving the stuff overseas, you know, we didn't really feel it that much because we didn't know what was going on.
Right.
But every once in a while they started closing down and you could just start kind of feeling it,
feel
you know.
something going on in
Now
the
that
economy.
really scared me to death. Now that really kind of scared me to death. So I was just really kind of scared, and things had really kind of got slow. So and one day, and I had tried, because see, the first place when you just in a business, you don't even walk up to nobody and tell them you want to borrow no money for your business. You know that?
Yeah.
And you have to pay for everything cash. They won't let you charge that. You have to pay cash for everything. But I can see why they do it, because you start going bad, you have no way of paying them, you know.
Don't survive.
I said, oh my God. So I was trying to maybe to figure what I could do. And you wouldn't believe this man walked in the door. He said, Mr. Smith, how you doing today? I said, fine. He said, I got a deal for you. I said, what is it? He said, you know anybody needs some money? I said, need some money? And he said, yeah. I said, right here, I need some. Mr. Smith, you don't need any money. I said, yes, I do. He said, you really need some money? I said, yeah. He said, well, I just came into quite a bit of money. And what I came to tell you is I will loan anybody that you know that's responsible. If they need any money, I want you to send them to me. He said, but they got to have collateral, you know. And he said, you want some? So I can let you have anything you want.
Wow.
I said, if you would believe this on a million years,
Yeah.
but that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and see, he had been looking at you, and he knew how you had run your
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
He had done his research, hadn't he? I said he had done his research.
Yeah, but
He
he was building was Daytona Beach.
Okay.
And I had been there for years.
Mhm.
I had been right next door to him for
Okay.
years.
Okay.
So he told me, he said, anybody that you know that needs some money,
Mhm.
said send them to me, because what happened, he sold his whiskey store
Mhm.
and he sold it to his cousin.
Okay.
And his son was playing pro basketball.
Okay.
But he was overseas.
Mhm.
And you know, when they do the contracts, like it's every so many years,
Mhm.
they give him millions of dollars. you know.
Yeah. Right.
And he
Okay.
said, I cannot take this money to the bank. And he
Mhm.
said, I'd rather loan it to somebody
Mhm.
and let it make me some money than try to just put it somewhere, you know,
Right,
because he
okay.
said he wasn't going to the bank. But,
Okay. So tell me, when did you move here? And tell me about this area.
oh, we moved in 54, 55, something. I'd have to
What
look
was
up.
it like then? You say it was just one of the only houses here?
Nothing. These were the only houses here.
Uh-huh.
The end of the thing, Apps Road was the end of the Clark County
The city limit.
city limit right there,
Okay,
Apps Road.
okay.
It was nothing here.
Uh-huh.
Not nothing, period.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they had built the houses right there on Magnolia Street.
Okay, okay.
Those were prefabs.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't think of this man that built these houses. He built these houses.
Okay.
And Mr. Allen, Bobby Allen, built onto my house.
Okay.
He said he did a beautiful job on them too. And he said he was selling so slow.
Mm-hmm.
And he got tired of them. And he said, I'm just sick of them. So that's why those apartments over there, because he got tired of waiting for the
For the
people.
house.
Just like, but
Okay.
see, just like they were telling me, you got to have, they had about the VA loan. And
Mhm.
everybody think this VA loan. I had walked in that building, I know, 3 or 4 times. And every time I go in there,
Uh-huh.
and they gonna tell me, no, you have to wait until you get a discharge
Mm-hmm.
before I can sell it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And one Saturday I was downtown, I said, I'm just gonna go back in there again.
Mm-hmm.
And I just walked on back in there, and Mr. said, man, can I help you? I said, well, I tell you what, I said, I want to buy one of those houses out there in Magnolia Terrace. I said, but they keep telling me I can't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, why? I said, because my husband in service, and they told me that I can't buy it until he get a discharge.
Mhm.
And then I can get a VA loan after he get a discharge, you know.
Mhm.
I said, oh, all right then. And he said, you have any money? And I said, yes.
Mhm.
And he said, how much do you have? I said, how much I have? He said, well, I got to ask you. He said, I'm asking you,
Mhm.
do you have any money?
Mhm.
He said, because now, if they didn't sell you their house, they didn't tell you can get other loans. I said, nobody said nothing about another loan.
Mhm.
I had talked to 2 or 3 people. Nobody said nothing but
They was thinking VA, VA,
VA, VA, VA. Oh, you ain't supposed to have no money.
Mm-hmm.
No. He asked me,
Right,
he said,
yeah.
how much money I had? I said, you got to know how much. He said, lady, if you want to buy the house, I got to know how much. And I told him. He said, lady, you got that kind of money?
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you work? I said, yeah. And I was at the factory, on the factory.
Okay, okay.
And I told him how much I was making. He said, how much you get every month? And I told him,
Mm-hmm.
he asked me how much my husband made. He said, well, do you care if I run your credit check? I said, no, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
He read my credit check. He said, let it go out there on Magnolia Terrace and pick whatever house you want. And it's yours.
Yeah.
He said, you will get your FHA loan.
Okay.
And see, all those people working right there in the office. See
They
how
ain't think about it.
ain't nobody thought about them, but because the VA was up,
VA.
that's all I thought. And I decided, that's what I'm just going to go in here and ask
Right.
again, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I had begged my husband for the whole year that he was gone to
Uh-huh.
tell him that we want a house. I
Mhm.
want me a brand new car.
Mm-hmm.
So when they finally told me about the house,
Mm-hmm.
I went out and he asked me, told he wanted me to stay with his mother until he got back. So I stayed with his mother and daddy in their house.
Right.
Therefore, I wasn't paying no rent. So see,
Right.
therefore I gave no money to save.
Mhm.
And that was what I did. So I didn't say nothing about the what you call it. I said, well, best bet now is just shut up, because he keep telling me about the car.
Mhm.
I just want me a car. I don't want no house. We're gonna get us a new car. As soon as I get home,
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. So I just shut up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say a word.
Mm-hmm.
And the man told me I can come in here and do whatever I want. I bought my furniture. I bought my curtains. I bought everything in this house.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say a word to him.
Tell me about some of your neighbors that you had
Now
through the
Howard,
years. The Howard.
Vernon Howard
They
was
was right
next
here.
door.
I remember the Howards.
Mr. and Mrs. King with the Halls. You might not know the Halls.
Chris Halls.
Halls.
I know some halls, but I don't.
It was yeah, they lived
Okay,
down there, 'cause
okay.
they had
When
been in
did
Athens for
the,
years.
The next door, Mrs. Is Vernon
Vernon Howard.
Howard.
And his wife taught school.
So when you moved here, was that house there then?
The house was there, yes, yes.
One of
The
the
house
two?
was there.
Okay.
And that one was there, and that one was there.
Okay.
That one down there. There was
Okay.
about 3 or 4 down
About
there.
3. Okay. Okay.
Because Mrs. Bonnet bought hers, and she built her house. She
Okay.
built hers down
Okay.
there.
Okay.
And I went on and I picked this one because a man came out the street. I said, it's funny how things just fall right in your lap that you don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And this man said, lady, what are you doing coming across the street?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, me and my cousin out here. I said, we trying to find us a house.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, what are you doing over there?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we went over there to see if we might want those over there.
Mm-hmm.
He said, lady, and you go buy your house? I said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He said, don't go back over there no more. So go back over there on this side
Mm-hmm.
and make sure you get your house elevated.
Mm-hmm.
Don't buy no house on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
He said, so don't go back over. You hear what I say? I said, yes, sir. I don't know that man from Adam.
Right.
I never seen it before.
Right. What about
He
that?
said, don't even go back over there no
Uh-huh,
more. He said, you don't want, because it was 3 already built.
Right.
He said, you don't want neither one of those houses.
Mhm.
He said, you get this house because it's elevated
Right.
off the ground.
Okay.
And I said, okay.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of, this one was kind of green like.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like the color bit. I already kind of
Okay.
picked it.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Because I said, I won't ever forget it.
So what was this neighborhood like? You raised your kids here?
Oh, it was nice
Mhm.
because we didn't have a whole lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the same house, then the Howard stayed there until both of them died.
Right. Uh-huh.
And the man that stayed there, the lady that stayed there, she died,
Mm-hmm.
and then the husband died too. Both of
Okay.
them died.
Okay.
So it changed. No, and then the next people came after the Kings. They've been there ever since.
Mm.
They've been there ever since. So she has Alzheimer's now,
Mm,
and she
okay.
just moved to Atlanta,
Mm.
and so it's for rent now.
Okay.
So she was always there. She didn't
Okay.
have any children. She adopted 2 children.
Uh-huh.